I'm Quinny. Welcome to the channel, guys. In this video today, we are picking up from where we left off last week. We were trading our way out of trouble on Sorare NBA. We'd bought a bunch of stuff in the first day one auctions is what I call them, but the first couple of days, we paid way over the odds. They fell in value dramatically, and some of them were in the ascendancy. What we did last week is we tried to find a fallen knife where we're looking for another guy who's a tier 1 standard card, who's maybe been injured, got a bad L10, bad whatever, that we could maybe trade our way into, and we managed to do that successfully last week. If you did miss that video, I highly recommend you check it out. It'll be linked at the end of this video, so you can just jump straight into that if you did miss it. But today, we are looking to do something quite similar. But one of the things I love about trading on Sorare NBA, as I mentioned last week, is it gives us some fantastic examples on trading strategy and how, not only to how to conduct a trade, but what's expected from both ends to get the end product that you're actually after. At any point in this video today, if you do laugh, you learn, you like something or whatever, please do subscribe to the channel. We're pushing for 10,000 subs as quickly as humanly possible. Like and share and retweet, and of course all that good stuff, guys. Let me know in a comment down below what you think about the players I'm trading out, as well as the one that I've traded in. Stay out of trouble, and let's get stuck into it. Now, one of the important kind of pillars of this change in strategy that I'm using with my Sorare NBA club is that, similar to football, I understand the limitations that limited cards have for utility and market price as well. So what I'm looking to do is remove some of the liability I've got against limiteds, and I want to get more into the rare side of things. I expect that that's going to mean my win percentage goes down in the immediate term. We spoke about this last week in terms of immediate term pain for long-term joy. And on Sorare NBA, the maximum amount of cards you can give over in one transaction is 10 cards. So straight away as I'm going into this, if I'm going to be bundling like 10 odd limiteds together to try and get a rare in, number one, I need to understand that I can't reach too far out there. You know, no one's going to accept 10 limiteds for a tier 1, even a tier 2 level card, unless they're all absolute smashers and they're, you know, the cumulative total value of them all is far weighted in the favor of the person you're traded against. What the balance I'm trying to strike is, when I'm doing these kind of trades, is between giving enough over the table so it's an enticing offer to receive an acceptance, but equally, I'm not giving too much over where when the deal's done, I think, oh, did I do the right thing there? Did I maybe overgive on that deal? You're not going to nail them all absolutely perfectly, but the sequence of events I've went through to get this card, I thought was absolutely perfect. And, you know, there's some great lessons in here that hopefully you guys can use when it comes to Sorare NBA or Sorare football, trading cards and trying to move your club up the ladder, as it were. Now, when I've been bundling together the limited cards, I'm going to try and roll into a rare card, as it were. I'm trying to have a nice mix of, like, a nice piece, like a card like a Paolo Banchero here, who's worth a lot, got a good profile, and is a relatively enticing card. And then I'm going to try and give many of the other cards as I can. They're maybe a bit more nominal value. Maybe they're just good for this game week because they've got a good L10 or whatever it might be. This Banchero card, I don't think I did too badly on when I bought it at. I bought right in bang average price range here. So using it as a trade piece now is not too bad for me. It's not as if I'm trying to get something out that, like in the last video, I maybe overspent on. This is much more of this piece is held in the market and can go into this trade, and the person that will receive it from me, because this is his price graph, he's quite a steady asset to use as a value activator in a kind of trade deal like this. So Banchero was going to go in as the crown jewel of the deal. Because he's a rookie, I then thought it would be quite sensible and quite cool to probably try and throw some rookies around him. So also in this bundle, we put together Benedict Mathurin, who is one of the limited cards that I bought for super expensive right at the beginning. But he's had a great season, and even though I bought him all the way up here, his price has been relative to you know, where it's been kind of hanging out ever since. He's a good rookie. He's in the mix for it as well, along with Jalen Duren of the Detroit Pistons. And again, this is a guy that I don't think I paid too much for relative terms. Yeah, maybe a wee bit above the mean or whatever, you know, but I'm kind of in normal town for the most part. There are 3 really prominent rookies. Number 4 would be Jeremy Sochan. So again, this guy, when did I pick him up? Again, not too badly priced, but another limited rookie. And again, this guy, when he sees this offer getting put together, I'm sending him not 4, not 5, not 6, but 7 rookies. Now, Jabari and AJ Green, I won both these guys. Very low value cards, very low tier cards as well. But both of them were starting to pick up their L10s and did start to see some sort of market value start to materialize, like you can see here with AJ Green. Now, I've got 7 limiteds here of varying quality and value, but they're all rookies. And then who do I try and fill it out with? Well, I'm going to try and squeeze out into these trades really worthless limiteds that I've also won, in my opinion, like DeAndre Jordan, Admiral Schofield, and then I've got 2 rares I'm going to try and get into this deal somehow as well, and Mamadi Diakite and Derek Jones Jr. Now, I was also donated a card by one of the followers of the channel. It's worth like 10 pence or something, and we're going to try and get Svi into a deal somehow as well. It's a bit of a trope card. He goes for absolutely nothing. Like, he goes for literally nothing. 86 cents, 90p. You know, he's not worth anything at all. So we're going to try and get as many of these cards into the deal as possible. Now, the strategy with this, right, is ID the cards next, okay? So I've got this bundle here. Roughly, what's the SRD value? Now, I'll do the maths for you, or I did the maths at the time, because now, if you were to go and check those cards out, it will be slightly different. But at the time, they were kind of rocking into an SRD Sorare data valuation of about 0.14, 0.15 of an Ethereum. So I'm now going to be looking for a rare that's about 0.12, about 0.13. And then I think I've got the values right there. I'm going to try and go out and execute some bids and hopefully receive some counter offers and do some negotiating. Now, for me, when it comes to identifying a target, I'm looking really for guys that I don't need to worry about over the next couple of years. And one kind of theme, one sort of aspect of the market that I don't think is developed yet, that I fully believe is going to develop over the next 2 or 3 NBA seasons. And that is the Sorare cult hero, the Sorare NBA Hans Vanaken, if you will, the Cecilio, the Morioka. These kind of guys that maybe aren't great NBA players, maybe not that many basketball fans have much of an appreciation for them, but they're great on the game for a variety of reasons. And anyway, the player that I identified to fit such a mold was none other than Alperen Sengun. Sorry. Now, he's not a rookie, but when you look into him, he's actually 20 years of age. He's under 23 eligible, if that's going to mean anything, until 2027. His price now is a wee bit above today, the price range I've just given you, but as you can see, he was in around there in the last kind of week or two, and that's why I thought he was appropriate to go against that bundle. The reason Sengun, I think, is going to be a Sorare GOAT is not only because he's very young, I'm going to have a long career in the NBA, and Sorare cards will be around for long enough to see this guy get enough ownership, as it were, in the game, but he plays for the Rockets, and they lose every game. They lose all the time. That's why these scores are in red. The green ones are when they win, in terms of the actual basketball score. But our boy Sengun here, at 20 years of age and an absolute horse crap team, has got some big scores in him. He balled out with a 71 against the Lakers recently, and even beyond then, with a low L10, he's a guy that can always overproduce. And I feel that he's building a little bit of Sorare cult hero status. So he's the guy we went out and identified. Now, I took those bundles. I had 0.01 of an Ethereum lying around the edge of my wallet as well. So I was kind of using that as maybe a wee bit of, if they rejected the first offer, I would maybe try and just add that in just to say, hey, are we that far away? And the first 4 Senguns I went for, they were all listed at floor. I sent the same offer 4 times in a row to 4 different people, and all 4 of those bids got cancelled. Now, what happens when a bid becomes cancelled? They've accepted someone else's offer. People went out and were buying the floor. They were buying this guy ahead of the game week where he smashed out the 71. And I'm now panicking a little bit. I'm thinking, crap, I've identified this guy. I think I've done a good job. But the collateral I've got is not getting me over the line. People aren't even looking at the offer because the market's vibrant enough where the market's actually picking these cards up. No one's entertaining a trade. Now, that happened over the first kind of 24 hours, right? Then the next kind of 36 hours, people weren't buying as much on the market. But the same people were listing and changing their price and relisting and unlisting and doing all that kind of stuff. So what I then entered into was a series of having the bid laid out. I knew what the kind of template of the bid was, the players I would be using. We've kind of broke them down already. That bid get cancelled. I think I tried to do another bid with somebody else. Yeah, another guy came onto the floor. So I had this Garbius guy. I cancelled his bid. And then I went and bid against somebody else who was on the floor, and then they rejected this bid as well. So as you can see, I'm trying to just go 10 cards for the Sengun. He's rejected that offer, so I've went to, who's that, Badzo. I then went to someone else with the same offer. I went to Badzo with another bit of ETH. He rejected that. Badzo again. I'm trying to then put another rare into this deal. I'm trying to just, come on, are we that far away? Reject. Here's another one. Again, all players. And this is with Garbius again. And again, here another one with all players and a little bit of ETH to Garbius. And again, another one rejected, all those players. To another guy, rejected, same thing. Wee bit of ETH, rejected, same thing, rejected. Now, at this point in the day, I was getting nowhere. Bids were getting rejected. I wasn't even really getting a counter offer. I had the feeling the people I was bidding weren't interested in what I was selling. So I was about to go to my bed, and I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to list every one of these cards at the kind of price that I've got them in my head as in this trade, and we'll see what we wake up to. So I woke up the next morning, and would you believe it, Santa came. Some people went out into the market and they bought some of my cards. My Benedict Mathurin sold overnight. It actually sold super quick. I think with it being serial number 5 out of 5,000, I did actually list it above floor as well. I listed it at the price I had in my head I was using the value for on Sorare data. And this guy picked it up from me for about 40 quid or so. You can see the Ethereum amount there as I was sleeping. You can see my little green dot over there. Again, above floor. I did list it above floor. I thought that maybe the serial number might get me an extra 10% or so. And it did. Jeremy Sotchan was another one that went overnight as well. And he went for 0.15. So right in amongst what he was kind of selling for. Christian Braun went on the market as well. We sold him for 0035 Ethereum. And Jabari Walker went overnight as well for 0031 Ethereum. So this armed me up with a little bit more Ethereum than what I had already. Now, I must say this at this point. I was going to do a trade with those players involved. I've now sold those players and got Ethereum in my wallet. This becomes a difficult point for a lot of Sorare managers because now you've got Ethereum in your wallet. You maybe have some different avenues you could exercise. But I was staying true to the plan. I just wanted these guys out and this one guy in. And however I need to do that is however I'm going to do that. So the bundle we've got is now smaller, but we've got some Ethereum. And Ethereum is much more tempting to guys out there than cards, particularly some of these limiteds. And then again, we go out and we're hitting the floor. Now, there's been a new lister. As you've seen, we had Badzo, we had Garby, we had a few guys, easy business. A few guys were staying on the floor. No one else was coming to the market. But then the day before, or the day of the game week lock, another guy comes onto the floor. And anyway, we get all the cards we've got left and a little bit of Ethereum that we've raised overnight. And we throw it to him for the send gun. He rejects it. We go back to him again. And that's just like, hey, I tried to keep a little bit of the ETH in my pocket, as you can see. Didn't want to give it all away too quickly. But I basically did end up just giving him the Ethereum that we raised overnight alongside the guys I was offering him in the first place. And he accepted it. And Alpin Sengoat, 156 out of 1,000. Beautiful card. He is now a part of the club. FC Barcelona has got Sengoat into the team as a rare card to partner the Haliburton, who we picked up injured last week, along with the baller that we've got over Christmas time, LaMelo Ball, and some of the OG cards that I've had in the gallery since day one, like Claxon, Jones, and Mathurin. So we've got a nice stable here of rares that I know a little bit about. I've got a good feeling that they know, or they have the ability to do the points required on the basketball court for me for the SO5 arena. And another great trading exercise. You know, the Haliburton were taking cards that are not worth very much, but maybe worth a little bit more today than yesterday. And a guy in the absolute opposite situation. And today, what we've managed to show and execute is taking up a bundle of stuff. And no matter what, once you've got the values right and you stick to your principles, because quite easily, I could have just ran away and went for somebody a little bit cheaper. That trade would have looked even more appealing against. But he's not the guy I targeted. This guy, Sengun, is a great example because of the criteria that I'm giving you alongside why am I IDing this guy. It's not, for me, in this exact trade that I'm describing to you on video, it's not just about his scores. It's not just about the points he can do. But for me in this card, I'm thinking this guy's going to be a Sorare OG. He's the guy. He is the individual. It's not some other guy I've identified. And that's an easy one for me to stay true to the course on, in terms of he's the target, bring him in no matter what. If we need to wait a week, we wait a week. Because if the profile you're trying to bring into your club is just utility based, like he's plays for the Lakers and his L10 is 15 or whatever, then that could be 5 guys or whatever. Whereas I think you'll always do better in trades when you are laser focused on this is the guy for the reasons, and I want him to be in my club for whatever the time frame is, and sticking to your guns on that. And as long as you're trying to trade fair and you don't mind exercising a bit of patience, you probably will get it over the line, and you'll probably, like I was, extremely chuffed after like 2 or 3 days of grafting, checking the market, sending the same bloody offer over and over again to different people. When you do get that bid accepted, honestly, I had a big smile on my face. It was like an hour before lock. I put my team in, and I don't think my team was going to do very good, but I was like, yes, got him in, and he submitted, and who knows how good the game week could go, and then else I went and ramped out that 71. So absolutely fantastic. There will be another NBA trading video just like this one this time next week. I hope you have enjoyed it. Please do subscribe to the channel, like and share and retweet and all that good stuff. On screen there now is some other stuff that I've made that YouTube thinks you might enjoy. Stay out of trouble, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.